Paul Thomas Anderson's bold choice in filmmaking leaves a mark. Spoilers ahead for One Battle After Another. When it comes to film direction, few names evoke as much admiration as Paul Thomas Anderson. Whether he's crafting quirky romantic comedies like Punch Drunk Love or grand narratives like There Will Be Blood, Anderson's work is universally recognized for its striking visual style. His films are characterized by long takes, dynamic camera movements, compelling contrasts of symmetry and asymmetry, and carefully curated color palettes, all of which harkens back to the classic golden age of Hollywood. Despite this well-earned reputation, Anderson emphasizes that his focus is generally on the narrative and the specific locations of each shot, rather than the pursuit of dramatic visual flourishes. In a recent discussion about his latest film, One Battle After Another, https:/film.com 196966 review, Anderson articulated the significance of simplicity in visual storytelling. During a screening at New York's Regal Union Square, he highlighted his commitment to conveying the story without excessive decorative elements. "Don't get gourmet, don't get too fussy," Anderson advised, sharing his philosophy on crafting visual narratives. Focus on shots that serve the story, as there's a wealth of narrative to unfold. Avoid adding unnecessary embellishments. The visuals need to be economical. Given that One Battle After Another runs nearly 3 hours and contains a multitude of intricate scenes, this practical approach certainly resonates with the film's expansive storytelling framework. However, Anderson did allow himself a moment of indulgence, particularly during the intense encounter between Willa, Chase Infinity, and Colonel Lockjaw, Sean Penn, inside the chapel at the Sisters of the Brave Beaver mission. Returning to classic Hollywood for an iconic church scene. If you've had the chance to watch One Battle After Another, you may vividly recall the striking shot that unfolds in the chapel. Following an assault on the mission by Lockjaw and his men, Willa is brought into a cathedral-like space where the identity of her father is about to be revealed. The initial establishing shot places them at opposite ends of the expansive, beautifully decorated room, creating a potent visual contrast rife with tension. The camera, positioned at a slight angle from a high corner, offers an unsettling perspective akin to a god's-eye view, amplifying the drama of the confrontation. Although Anderson consciously aimed to maintain an economical shooting style throughout the film, this pivotal moment warranted a more artistic touch. When you find yourself at the Sisters of the Brave Beaver, you realize there are visual opportunities that cannot be ignored. It's essential to embrace them. Anderson explained, these opportunities emerge through the writing process, making for a thrilling, dramatic confrontation when Willa finally faces Lockjaw. It felt like the perfect moment to implement one of those classic grand cinema shots, capturing the dramatic standoff between our protagonist and antagonist. By maintaining simplicity in most scenes, Anderson was able to invest more depth and time into this particular moment. "When such moments arise, you seize them," he remarked, "but be careful not to over-rely on them." A throwback to a bygone era in filmcraft. While the themes explored in One Battle After Another, including severe violence against immigrant communities and the misuse of power, alarmingly relevant today, the filmmaking style transports audiences back to an earlier era, reminiscent of the New Hollywood movement of the late 1960s and 1970s. These influences shape Anderson's vision when he refers to the classic grand shots that define the chapel scene. This vintage feel permeates throughout the film, with car chase sequences that give the impression that the cameraman is sprinting along the sidewalk, desperately capturing every turn, heightening the adrenaline of the moment. The opening scenes of revolutionary action by the French 75 further evoke this nostalgic cinematic style. Moreover, although the story unfolds in contemporary times, the film loosely adapts Thomas Pynchon's novel Vineland, penned in 1990, featuring characters shaped by the previous decades. The revolutionaries described in the book echo the spirit of the 60s and 70s, the very era that has also informed Anderson's writing for the film's collective movement. During the New York discussion, lead actor Leonardo DiCaprio shared that Anderson had introduced him to Brian Burroughs' Days of Rage, a historical account of radical movements in the 1970s. Early in their collaboration, the Weather Underground, a significant activist group from this time frame, also served as an inspiration for the film's narrative. One Battle After Another is currently showing in theaters, inviting audiences to experience this unique blend of modern themes and classic cinematic influences.